This episode is brought to you by Baby Audio. Today's guest is Adam Greenholtz, a producer engineer who has worked with The Offspring, Michael Bublé, Muse, Bryan Adams, and more. In this episode, he shares what it was like working with Bob Rock, mixing techniques, and drum recording. Hey Adam, thank you so much for doing this. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Can you remember the worst mixing advice someone ever gave you?
Worst mixing advice? Don't mix stoned, I think.
I'm sorry, don't mix?
Don't mix after you've been smoking a bunch of weed.
Ah.
No, sorry. That's actually really good advice. Worst mixing advice? I don't know. I think all mixing advice is good for the person who gave it to me. So, like, I had a guy tell me just like you can mix with meters, and he successfully mixed with meters, but I don't think I could do that. So,
And how do you usually mix? Are you mixing like in the box right now, or maybe hybrid?
Yeah, mix in the box. There's some projects where I can use a console, and that's really fun. But I'm okay with just mixing the computer as well. Yeah.
And you prefer mixing with the console or in the box? Or
I'm
you don't
okay
care?
with. I really don't care, actually. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, how did you end up working with Bob Rock?
Well, I always wanted to work in a recording studio, and in the town I grew up, there was 2 recording studios. Well, there's more, but there's 2 I wanted to go to because they had Neve consoles, and I wanted to touch a Neve console. And that just turned out to be a studio that Bob likes working at. And I met him about, I don't know, over a decade ago. And at the time I was, making fruit salad and getting his boots stretched and stuff like that. And just kept getting put on his sessions, became the assistant, became the house engineer, sort of. And then when his engineer moved on, I guess he had nobody else to call. So, yeah, just moved on from there. Actually, what would happen is Bob likes to do a little pre-work. He has a lot of things on the go. So he'll have his own projects that he really wants to record while he's in the studio. So before everybody else comes in, whoever is there will record him playing guitar or like edit his songs or whatever. And so that was me just because I was there early.
And looking back, what's the biggest lesson you took away from working with him?
I guess he's got a really amazing work ethic, and he gets really absorbed in it because he loves music. Doesn't compromise. Kind of boring, responsible things that make somebody a professional, and I really respect that. So I try to do that as much as I can.
Cool. And you worked with on a drum sample library with him, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What was like that? I mean, what was the process like?
It was actually really fun because they came to Bob and they said, "You can make anything you want." And so he kind of went back. He wasn't really thinking too much about the things he'd done at that point, but he sort of went back to his catalog and he said, "What am I really proud of?" And obviously I wasn't around for most of that because it happened, when I was in diapers. But so he wanted to do some Metallica stuff. He wanted to do some Motley Crue. He wanted to do a little bit of jazz and like Amy Winehouse type stuff. He didn't do Amy Winehouse. Anyway. And so we just got a great drum tech, got a great drummer. Flavio in Vancouver is a drum tech, great guy. And Pat Stewart, amazing drummer. And it was just kind of a playground, set up drums, only drums, take as long as you want, do whatever you want. It was really fun.
Cool. And now, how long did you took? Did it take? I'm sorry. Did it take for the whole process?
The whole process was about a week, maybe a little bit longer. It's kind of a blur, to be honest, but probably a day or 2 of seriously getting sounds. And then they have to sample it, which is like the drummer fell asleep sampling one of the cymbals.
That's so long, waiting for the decay.
Waiting for the decay. And so that took a while. But yeah, actually getting the sounds, probably you do it for a day or 2, you really get picky. And then as you change over kits and stuff, a couple hours a day. So it's a really fun thing to do.
And
Yeah.
when you were getting those sounds, the drummer was playing just like alone, or did maybe was playing against some guitars or something like that, or just by himself?
Oh, actually, I didn't remember that, but you're right. We got sounds having him play along with some song that Bob was working at the time.
Hmm.
Yeah. But then after that, it's just sampling of individual hits.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Cool.
it's a good idea. I think we did that.
Uh huh. Because I always, when I'm recording drums, I always need to fine tune with a band or with some guitar. So I was thinking about that.
Okay. That makes sense.
And what about the editing after or mixing those samples?
The editing was so the company was Tune Track,
Mm-hmm.
and they're a fantastic company. They're such great people. And so they have a team of people to do the
Oh,
editing.
oh,
The founder, Matthias, he was responsible for Drum Kit from Hell.
mm-hmm.
And he said that the first time he did it, he spent an entire Swedish winter just in a room cutting up drum samples. But now there's a whole team of people who do that.
Uh-huh.
And then the mixing is done inside of their software. So we actually got to go to Sweden and meet everybody.
Cool.
And they threw us some nice parties, and then we mixed it.
Uh-huh.
It was really a great experience all around.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
You also you work with films and music for films. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the biggest difference between working with a band and recording or mixing for films?
I guess the the objectives, because well, the films I've worked on, it's not that many, but you're working for a music producer
Mm-hmm.
who is the artist, I guess, or who is the client. And so it's not so much about the singer, and it's not so much about what they want to do. It's people trying to accomplish something together. So the vibe is a bit different. But I guess, yeah, but the fundamentals are there, except much faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd love to ask you some of those of the ones that come up the most of
Okay.
those questions I get asked. So we'll start talking about mixing. What's your
Okay.
approach to mixing vocals?
I actually sometimes start with vocals, and I I think I spend more time on vocals than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to the extent that sometimes when I'm working on a song, I feel like it's vocals with some stuff behind it. So my approach to vocals is like I listen to them first a lot of the time. I really try to clean it up. Not so much about cleanliness, but so that nothing is distracting. And yeah, I just take a lot of time, and I think I take a lot of care with it. So it's extremely important.
Mm-hmm. What effects do you use on vocals to make them sound big?
Oh, well, I work for Bob, and he loves, and for good reason, he loves this. Actually, UAD makes it now. The AMS Neve, the DMX chorus
Mm-hmm.
with the chorus controller strip. And it does this sort of back and forth, left and right, in and out of time, sort of transparent chorus. So I end up using that a lot too. And besides that, nothing too fancy. Just the basic reverbs, little ping pong delay. Yeah, nothing complicated.
Mm-hmm. And how do you treat doubles and vocal harmonies?
Mm. I edit them a lot. Yeah, unless somebody is specifically looking for sort of a loose doubly thing. But I guess like as a category, I think that the tighter they are, the less distracting they are while making the vocal sound sort of bigger. So again, uh, I mean, I spend a lot of time editing because it's my job, but also I do enjoy it and I like the results. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so that's the approach.
Cool. Actually, that's the next question. What's your process for editing vocals before mixing? Do you do something maybe with the sibilants or tuning or something like that?
Yeah, I tune a lot. I guess a lot of producers I've worked with, they're very careful about comping, and comping was something that I didn't really understand until I started working in studios.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so simple. You put the best takes together, but depending on the artist and depending how they work, Like for example, if you have like a pitchy artist, but the best performances are actually the ones that grab you, but they're distracting because it's a little wild in tuning or something like that, or there's like a big noise. You know what I mean? Like you still have to find the best ones, even though they don't attract you right away, or they do attract you, but they're wrong somehow. So a lot of time and a lot of care and comping, and then the cleanup. And I spend about a pass. I do breaths. I do sort of annoying plosives and consonants, and I really try to massage that stuff. And then after that, it's tuning and mixing. But
And when do you do the like this process, like cleaning and editing? Just, I mean, I hate doing all the editing just before mixing. I usually do it, I don't know, a couple of days before. So what do you do? It's something similar?
yeah, I mean, if I'm mixing a song, a lot of the time I've done the whole thing, like pre-production, recording.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that often that I get songs just to mix. So as it's gone along, as we've been recording it, I usually have sorted that stuff out. But if I'm getting a song just to mix, I find that you have to, like, I don't use templates or anything, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to find in the tracks. So I don't mind going through each track and editing it because it helps me learn the song.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, it doesn't bother me. I don't kind of find it's distracting from the process because then I'm not surprised later. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the questions I get asked the most is, how do you get the vocals level right in the mix?
A lot of compression and rides, I guess. Flip gain. I don't know. What about you? Like, how do you?
I get no idea. I guess it's just like the feeling, you know. Um, I don't use meters, but
Yep.
quite often I'm listening to the snare drum. How
Mm.
loud is the snare? And I compare it to the vocal. That's what I use. I usually do.
Yeah. No, I get that. If you're writing something, but you're actually listening to something else,
Mm-hmm.
it can really give you that perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, something I do that's practical is that is I'll listen on a mono speaker like an Ortone,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll do a vocal up mix kind of while I'm doing the rides. It's very
Mm-hmm.
focused, on the mid range and stuff. And then when you spread it back to stereo, the vocal up mix on the more Ortone sounds right the whole time. So that's a practical thing I do like to do.
Nice. What are you using on your mix bus?
Uh, Not much. It's some kind of compressor. It bounces around a little bit, but I started using one of the Shadow Hills a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was using it wrong for a while
Why?
because I was using I was using too much of the opto. Like I just
Okay.
have them both on,
Uh-huh. Actually,
and I was
I don't
talking
use I don't use the that compressor. It's too complicated for me. So
right, and it does look complicated, doesn't it?
yeah. Uh-huh. But I'm sorry I interrupt you.
No, no, you didn't. No, but I guess I learned on a lot of mixing was done on a 4000 series
Mm-hmm.
on an SSL, and the console that I grew up recording on was a Neve console
Mm-hmm.
um, at the Warehouse Studio in Vancouver, and it had been modded to have a G series bus compressor in the center
Oh,
section. So that was always around when I was recording, and I kind of learned to mix on a 4K too. So anything that's in the neighborhood of a 4K compressor, that's good for me. And then maybe a bit of EQ afterwards, little top, little bottom, but
mm-hmm.
that's about it.
And what key do you like using?
Uh, Something in the Soundtech category.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Plugin Alliance now they make a sort of a Soundtech, and it works great.
Mm-hmm. And how do you get the low end right in the mix?
Oh, I have a Bob for that. To seriously answer your question, I have a tendency to like things thin and separated. So I have to really push myself to try to get low end because it's not my natural tendency.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I guess headphone checking is really important. Yeah.
Ah, nice. And what are your favorite ways to add color and character to a mix?
Mm, I kind of try to do that in recording.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trying to think of Like
Maybe.
guitar sounds, like, yeah, you like put an interesting pedal on or you use a weird amp or a weird guitar or something.
Mhm. Do you like
Drums,
using distortion? Maybe not on guitars, but I mean bass, vocals, drums, or something like that.
yeah. Yeah, I do use some distortion on drums. Um, I don't really distort vocals very often unless somebody really wants, and asks for it, and then I'll try it. And I have to sort of figure it out every time.
Hmm.
Um, and if I'm mixing analog, a bit of analog clipping just happens because things are hot. Not too much distortion, not on
Hmm.
purpose.
And what are your go-to compressors you're mixing, and what do you typically use them for?
Oh, okay. SSL channels for drums. Although lately I really like API Vision style stuff, since the plugins have come out. Uh, Bass, I always like a Fairchildy type thing.
Hmm.
Guitars, I don't compress that often, but if I do, LA3s or LA3s in parallel. They always just seem to work on guitars. Acoustic guitars, like a Neve 2254, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
And vocals, I really pop around. I really move around a lot. And I have a good, yeah, sorry. I don't I don't even know what I'd say for a vocal compressor.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any thoughts or any
For the
suggestions?
compressor, actually,
Yeah.
I mix 100% in the box, and I
Mhm.
have I think I have like 7 or 8 or like
Yeah.
aux tracks, and I always try I take maybe I don't know a minute or 2 minutes
Mhm.
trying the best compressor for them for the vocals. But I
Yeah.
now I don't usually use the 1176. I don't know what I don't like it, but
Yeah.
now I'm using the Fairchild, sometimes the Magic Death Eye. I think that.
Oh yeah, Magic Death Eye. I forgot
Uh
about
huh.
that. That's a great compressor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. So yeah, that's my answer.
Actually, okay. Now that you reminded me, the thing I always use, and there's always compressors before or after it, is C4. I love C4. You can do a real
Oh,
shaping and like
mm-hmm.
control, and yeah,
Nice.
I'm gonna go with that.
And I remember that I was talking to Garth Richardson like 2 months
Right.
ago, and he told me like he uses the LA3A
Hmm.
two LA3As. First, he uses the one that's limiting, and then one that's
Hmm.
compressing, and I really love that. So yeah,
Wow, I'm gonna try that.
I tried that after the interview. It's like okay, I love this. So yeah, I'm
Nice
using that
one,
a lot.
Garth.
Hmm.
Okay, cool.
Now the question here is, how can you improve the groove of a song during mixing?
Oh, interesting. I guess rides and having percussion too loud.
Hmm.
I go with that. Yeah,
Do you like
and
to?
I guess and timed effects. Yeah,
That's what I'm going to
yeah.
ask. Yeah. And what's the best way to record heavy guitars with a big distortion while still keeping clarity?
I would suggest layering. This
Hmm.
is not something I came up with. I record a lot of guitars because of the people I work with, and I think the most success comes from having something that's very heavy, something that has like a mid-range clarity and bite, something that's quite clean like an AC30, something that's kind of got a small box sound, and actually end up with like 4 or 5 amps going, and you put them together and you get a sound that kind of has everything. And I've never learned how to do that has everything sound with one sound. I can only do the has everything sound with like 4 or 5 sounds. So
Hmm. And do you usually do that like in one take or like 3 passes or four? No, it's only one take. Okay.
yeah, it's
Hmm.
one take and then you can double or triple, but the sound is like 5 amps
Hmm.
and a room mic.
What do you like using in for miking the guitars? And of course the room mic for that.
It's pretty much just a bunch of 57s, 87s, and 421s.
Hmm.
Yeah, nothing fancy. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. And how do you like recording acoustic guitars?
A KM86 if I have it,
Hmm.
and a 67 if I don't. And that's about it. It's pretty much always mono. If I was going to do like only acoustic guitar and vocal or something like that, I might bust out some sort of MS thing or Blum line, but in most arrangements, just a 67 where you'd expect it to be. That's it.
And does your approach change when recording a 12-string guitar?
No,
No?
no.
Do you remember how the guitars were recorded for the Offspring when you worked with them?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I described. They'll have like a diesel, which is a big part of the sound, a Mesa, a Vox and a Fender, like a Deluxe or something. There's another amp, maybe a Bogner sometimes. Like a modded Marshall,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be the heavy guitar sound. And then when it gets to clean, uh, there'll be like an a Roland Jazz Chorus,
Oh.
something like that. And then, again, Fenders and Voxes and stuff. But a lot of the um, a lot of the tone decisions are about which guitar to play. So
And
yeah.
how do you usually check for phase when you're recording those guitars or any guitar, actually?
Oh yeah. 2 mics up, reverse one, get it to cancel, move on to the next one, add a cab, flip those, flip it on the splitter, just keep going until they all work.
What's the most important thing for having a powerful low end in the bass?
Oh, I guess just consistency and giving it a little boost that it needs. So quite a fair bit of actually no the most important thing is the bass player.
Of course.
Those guys every time they just move their finger and you get this incredible every note is the same, and it's so easy. It sounds so good.
Yeah.
And then if you want to, a little 60 cycles on a Pultec, and you can get it as big as you want. Easy.
Do you like using a DI and an amp, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. Mostly because, well, not mostly because, but I tend to edit things pretty much as a given. Like unless someone tells me not to edit something, and EDIs are easier to edit, and also you can reamp them if you make some sort of a mess in the phasing with the editing and stuff. So yes, definitely a DI. And when it comes to amp sounds, I'm not really that picky unless it's something really distinctive. Like I was around for a Muse recording session, and their bass sound is crazy. They've got this beautiful clean sound, all these different distortions and stuff that they move around, and you get this massive thing going on. But like SansAmp works great, or any of the other UA bass amp things. So it's really flexible.
Nice. And how do you make sure the bass works with the guitar, that the notes are clear and they don't get muddied?
Just find the mid-range boost, I guess, in the 800 to 1.5K neighborhood, and just find it. I'm not very clever about subtracting an EQ. So if it's like, well, you can't really hear the bass that clearly, then I'm going to turn up that mid-range until it's clear. Yeah.
Have you tried Baby Audio's plugins? They're designed to inspire creativity and enhance your music production experience. From their Crystalline River plugin, offering ultra-clean reflex free of metallic artifacts, to Spaced Out, a hybrid reverb and delay workstation that combines over 50 individual effects. Baby Audio provides tools that can transform your sound. Right now, you can get an exclusive discount on all their plugins. Just use the code Agartha15 at checkout. Don't miss out. Click the link in the description and elevate your music today. Do you like recording bass after the guitars? Or you don't care?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me, really. A lot of the productions I work on, it's not, it'll be like, we'll change this whole section, and then we'll need a new bass part, or somebody will play a guitar part that needs something. So it's all happening all at once. So I don't really have a strong preference now. I guess best is all together. That's always the best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, besides the drummer, what's the most important factor for you when recording drums?
The room. Yeah, to be in a nice room. Even if it's not a conventional studio room, it's just so easy if it's in a nice room with a nice kit. So
Nice.
Yeah, beyond that, it's all going to be okay.
And the best ways to make drums sound punchy without over compressing them? I mean, over processing them, not compressing.
Oh, I can't really speak to that because I do a lot of very over-processed drums.
Uh-huh. So how do you do it then?
Um, yeah, it's they're they're just over. I guess they're just over-processed.
Hmm.
Let's see. I guess just making sure that all your close mics are really working together. What do you mean by punchy? Like
I guess,
impactful or
yeah, with the tack, I don't know, yeah, like feeling the thump of the kick drum, the snare.
yeah. I guess yeah. Just really got to pay attention to that stuff in the recording, so you're at least getting something significant recorded. Yeah.
Hmm. And when you're recording drums in a session with a whole band, how often do you usually tune those drums?
Oh yeah. Always. Yeah.
But
Definitely.
every couple takes or.
Uh, like a snare will probably be every take, unless
Hmm.
they're like really in a rush and they want to get back in there. But like a good rim shotting drummer, that one lug is always loose. So they'll be talking. I'll run in there,
Uh-huh. So
tune
you
up.
you you do
Tom's probably.
you do, I'm sorry, you tune the drums?
Oh yeah, I love tuning drums.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Yeah, it's so satisfying because you can get some. You really get something that sounds better
Hmm.
right away. And it's yeah, I love that.
And you usually
Tuning to
tune
the
the.
key and all that.
That's what I
Sorry,
was going to ask. No, that's
sorry.
perfect. Yeah, I was going to ask that. Do you usually tune but do you usually tune the bass drum to the song too, to the key of the
No,
song? No.
no. Bass drum is just whatever sounds good is for that size and for the style. But
Mm-hmm.
I really like. I'm playing around with it still. It doesn't always work, but I like a major second on the snare because it gives a sort of bright, and it usually works throughout the chord changes.
Mm-hmm.
But so I like that. And then toms, just a bit of a spread. They usually don't have that much wiggle room. Like you can't like tune them to whatever you want, but some sort of chordy thing at least.
And that major second of the snare, it's sometimes it's the fundamental of the snare. I mean, because sometimes I tune the snare, but listening to the harmonic of the snare, because sometimes
Hmm.
that's what I tune into the song.
For sure, yeah, yeah. You'll go out there and you hit it by itself, and you'll hear that note that you want, and you put in
Mm-hmm.
the song, and all you hear is the harmonic. It's like, okay, well, okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go with that instead, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice. And is it common to change the drum heads frequently during the session?
No, it's usually just like once at the beginning of a session. If we're doing a couple days. If it's yeah, every couple days, I guess I'd say.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing like a fresh, bright snare head if you're looking for that sound, right?
What drum heads do you like using?
I like Remos. I like um I like controlled sounds, the one with the dot on the
Mm-hmm.
bottom. I like regular emperors. Ambassadors if it's something, light and sensitive. And I also like those black suede heads.
Mm-hmm.
Black satin? Black
I don't
suede. Well,
know.
anyway, they're black. They're
Uh-huh.
black emperors, and they kind
Oh.
of have a sound to them. They're cool.
Uh-huh. Nice. And if you want to create a sense of intimacy or closeness in a vocal, what do you do?
Mhm. I guess it sort of depends on the arrangement, but
This can be during the recording or mixing, whatever you
oh,
like to.
oh, okay. Just record them real close, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And of course. What about the
Yeah.
room? Do you like really dead rooms or like a little ambience?
I usually don't get to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just a regular room is fine. Anything without a weird slap in it.
I hate
Um,
that.
it's just impossible to sort out after the fact. So it can be big. I'll do baffles if it's really big and you can actually hear the room. But I'm okay with ambience, I guess, to answer your question. I'm okay with ambience, and it doesn't have like if we're in a studio, we're not using the room. I don't need to put the vocalist in a booth. And
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. I'll just use the room. So I'm okay with ambience.
Do you like recording vocals in the control room with you? Maybe to give, I don't know, for better communication or.
Oh yeah. Either way, I don't prefer it
Okay.
specifically. Yeah, it works. It works great, but I don't necessarily prefer it.
Mm-hmm. And when you feel the vocals lack character, what are your favorite techniques to fix that?
Uh, have them sing it again. If you're talking about like texture or something,
Whatever comes to your mind.
I really don't mess with vocals that much. I really want them to sound like the person.
Hmm.
So I haven't really mastered like that sort of gritty, crunchy vocal or that compressed thing or a lot of effects. So I really just want to hear them, and I want to hear their character, and with clarity and sort of realism. So I guess if I'm not being grabbed by a vocal, I guess I just want to hear it even more, like just to try to get that sense of who they are,
Hmm.
and not so much about a sound.
Cool. And how do you make the reverb stand out when there's too much, where there's no much space in the mix?
Like vocal reverbs or
Vocal reverbs, yeah.
vocal reverbs. If there isn't room in the mix, I don't.
You won't use
Yeah,
the.
yeah. I
Great
mean, like it'll be
answer.
there, and then if
Uh-huh.
you can't hear it, then I guess
Hmm.
yeah, that's that. Yeah.
And do you usually compress or EQ those effects, delays or reverbs, if you're using them?
No, not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
Cool. Adam, thank you so much for being here on the show. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for having me on. It's been a
Hmm.
pleasure. Thanks.